what have I done? I want to ask you guys, if you're enjoying this, subscribe. And also my Instagram is in the description below. I'm trying to get some followers on the Instagram. I update a little bit ahead of time compared to the YouTube channel. But let's get to what's inside this box here. Trash. I got that old and that new. So despite the fact that this one is in pretty good shape, we've got a brand new block. Like I said, this was not very expensive. It cost about $600. And this one, despite being in pretty good shape, unfortunately, to have a hone, a deck, and then the mains worked over and making sure the block is good, probably about $800. So brand new, old, and still cheaper. So now I'm gonna struggle and get this thing out of here by my lonesome self. But ooh, buddy. Oh, fuck my life. This bitch heavy. More awkward than anything else, but here's that new. So my last one was good for every bit of 536 all-wheel horsepower. And I'm assuming this one is good for the same. I mean, the failure point was not the block. It was definitely the rods. So I think as far as the power output of the gearhead turbos, it will be more than sufficient just to run the stock block. I'm not going to CSS it, so like the cylinder support systems, closed deck, because the only person I've seen have any bit of an issue with that is Ryan Spencer, who is pushing an ungodly amount of power compared to me. So this one should support every bit of 600 horsepower. 600 horsepower capability for $600. I'll take it all day long. So another piece of the puzzle. And cool thing about it is my parts guy already checked. It comes with the mains and all of the bolts. And I was going to have to replace all of these bolts on the edges and on the underside. Here, I'll flip it up for you. So all of the bolts on the underside, there is the cradle bolts and the main bolts. Well, I guess the cradle bolts are main bolts also, but then there's the side bolts. So it was like another $40 of hardware saved. And I get to keep this box. I'm pretty proud of that. I mean, heck, that's a quality piece of wood right there, even though it's just scraps. But I'm going to put my old block and my rotating assembly in it for a future project, probably. I don't know. I was thinking about buying an extra connecting rod and piston and ring set for one cylinder, and then reassembling this one as a, if I blow up the new rotating assembly and whatnot, then I can throw this in and then get rid of the car, because that would be a horrible situation. But I've thought about it. Keep the block as a trade-in method. Just throw it back in, get rid of it. I don't know if I could do that though, honestly. Just morally, but pretty happy. Got the new block, and now need to wait for the rotating assembly. Also got a little something else from Ortiz today. Bearings and piston rings. But apparently my PayPal payment is still going through, so still waiting on them to ship rods and pistons. We got some things going on over here too, but that's going to be a project for another day, because I need to get my die grinder, which is at my grandparents'. But got some plans for this intake manifold. I know I've mentioned this before, but was just working on it with the Dremel and just kind of cleaning up in here just by hand, and going to continue that in another part. But let's look in here. So this is I want to say bearings and piston rings. Put that down. Got my slippers back on. It's like 90 degrees out, so I'm dying in these pants. And then just pull this out. Oh yeah. Ooh, I'm just pull this one out too. This one's dangerous. Come on, let go. I'm glad it's all wrapped up. The crank wasn't. I don't know why that bothered me. Oh. Yeah, look how clean it is. So this is awesome because I was actually going to have everything cleaned by the machine shop also. So that's also another expense on top of all of that. But let's see if I can... Oh! Bitch heavy. I'm going to put this on its side. So everything's in good shape. Looks like I might still need the cradle bolts, but still to not have to buy the main bolts and the side bolts, that's a huge little cost sink that I won't have to buy. But super pumped. Even got dowels on the transmission. Looks like I still need to probably reuse the dowels for the heads off the old block, but that's no issue. Oh man, this is so exciting. This build keeps on going from expensive to even more expensive. So we got gear head converter already sent out. Well, not sent back to me, but sent torque converter that way. New block, new rods, new pistons. Ah, I'm just so excited. So we got King bearings, and Lee was nice enough to throw those in on the deal. Oh, and we got some ARPs, some ARP head bolts. So these were actually stupid expensive. I was so surprised. But that's going to be an awesome little add-on. Oh yeah. She's coming along, boys. She is coming along. So, super awesome little setup here. It says 12 pack, but I think there's a couple more bolt holes in that. Should probably check this out. So I'm still kind of deciding on head gaskets. New Ford ones are like 30 bucks each, but I think because I'm kind of going balls to the wall anyways, that I should probably, my razor blade, I should probably invest in some higher quality ones. That's probably the best way to go about it. Oh yeah. Oh, it's had studs. So the ones that came out were bolts, which no issue really. I think there's enough there. Let's see. 5. This is a little different. Let's see. There's 9 there and 7 here. Okay, so there's 16, exactly how many I need. So that's going to be interesting, going from head bolts to head studs, but I'm assuming that is perfectly fine. Ultra Torque Assembly Lube. Oh. Don't forget to use your lube, kids. So that's awesome. Bearings, not going to touch those. Oh man, it's like Christmas. It's like Christmas, and it's only 90 degrees out with like 100% humidity. So, giant chunk of things have been paid for. Parts list left over is probably another 500-ish for a bunch of gaskets and whatnot. But like I said, not sure on head gaskets what I'm doing yet, but probably going to do something nice with those. So, not going close deck. This will support everything I need, hopefully. And if it doesn't, we're going to throw back in the old motor with an extra rod and piston and get rid of the car. But hopefully we won't have to come to that. So I hear the popular thing to do with engines is to paint them Hemi orange. So we're just going to have to paint this Hemi orange. I'm just kidding. A buddy said that in the group chat and I said I'd put it in the video. But I have thought about painting the block black, but the only thing about that is can't really see oil leaks. But definitely going to paint valve covers probably the same orange as my hot pipes. You know, just be a hot boy. But definitely coming along here. Got a mess of everything. I don't even know what to do with this stuff anymore. I'm glad I got that box. But anyways, it's just a little update for you guys. I just got really excited about some new stuff. Like I said, if you're enjoying the build, subscribe, and my Instagram's down below. Really appreciate it. All the support you guys have given me, and let's build this thing. Let's do it, guys.